Alright, so this is power and roots part 2. Exactly the same topic as part 1. These are just slightly more difficult, but still manageable. So when it's a minus sign, so when it's 5 to the power of something negative, it can be rewritten as a fraction with the power on the bottom. So all that means is that, if I get a calculator, we can show you. So 5 to the power of minus 2 equals 1 over 25. And you already know that 1 over 5 squared is exactly the same, but I can double check. 1 over 25. So you just got to remember that negative sign, just bring it under, turns positive. We covered this briefly on the video before, but a square root just like that is the same as power to a half. If you had, say it was the cube root of 25, then that would equal 25 to a third. So this number here, this always goes as a fraction. So if it was, 425, well, then that would equal 25 to the quarter, the power of a quarter. And you can do that in reverse quite easily as well. Exactly the same thing, just backwards. 23 to the power of negative half, that's just a combination of these two. So we know it's 1 over 23 to the power of a half. But we know that half can be just rewritten as a square root. Just like that. Here what you can do is take a third inside the bracket. Sorry, the sixth. 64 to the power of 6 all to the power of 5. And the reason that this is the same thing as from our previous rules that we learned, when you are multiplying powers like this, when you raise a power by a power, they multiply. So this is exactly the same thing. 64 to the power of a sixth is 2. 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2, I'm not sure how many times I said it, is 64. And then that can just be written as 2 to the power of 5. Here you got to be careful. You've got to make sure that you're doing the right thing. So the 3, the power, affects everything in here, because there's all these little multiplication signs between each of these numbers. So the 3 is raised by 3. The a squared is raised by 3, and that means you multiply it. So's the b, and so's the c. So you end up with, you can rewrite that as 27. So 27, A6, B12, C3. When you got fractions like this, you got to simplify it, and the q only affects the q, and the p's only affect the p's. So the 2 and the 3 cancel out to be P1, or just P, and the same as the Q3 to Q6, so that just turns into Q3. You can rewrite this if you wanted to as like P3 multiplied by P minus 2, because you're bringing it up, the opposite to this, and then Q 6 multiplied by q negative 3. And from our rules from earlier, if you multiply like terms, you just add them. So 3 plus minus 2 is 1. 6 plus minus 3 is 3. Bit harder, but as long as you practice them, it should be alright. If there's anything that I'm unclear about ever, or if I skip through too many things, or I'm making too many assumptions of what you may or may not know, just let me know in the comments, because I am new to this, and obviously I want it to be as helpful as it can be. So if you enjoyed it, subscribe. There's going to be a video like this every day. Enjoy.